everyone and welcome back to the Kitchen Club. I recently did a reorganization of my kitchen countertop, and the two main things which were there in my mind when I did this organization were: one, to bring up all the things that I need for my everyday cooking in the kitchen on my countertop, and secondly, still have a lot of room to do my work peacefully and spaciously. So today I am going to share with you all of my ideas, tips and tricks that I used in this organization. But before we start, a gentle reminder to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you have subscribed already, do not forget to hit that bell icon so that you are notified every time I upload a new video. So let's get started now.
So friends, this is my kitchen countertop, which is not too big, not too small. It is a pretty decent medium-sized kitchen. So before I started loading it up with things, I thought of removing some appliances from the countertop, which I don't feel are very necessarily required out here on the countertop on a daily basis. So I moved them out of the countertop, and a good idea would be to move them to one of the kitchen cabinets. But I used a little trick to place them near the kitchen. I will show you this trick in a little while from now. So I started moving out the lightweight, easily portable ones, and it takes only a few seconds to bring them back on the countertop and use them whenever we need it. I'm letting these two heavy guys still be on the countertop, but to utilize the space more effectively, let's bring in this wired corner shelf, which instantly uses the vertical as well as the corner spaces very effectively. I'm placing this tray on the top of this shelf to make the base very strong for our mixie to sit on, so that even if there are any spills while grinding, it would fall on the tray and it will be easier to clean it up later. And now friends, we are left with these two racks, the extra storage space that we have created. These wide organizing trays seem perfect for this little space and also are color coordinated with the shelf, so I'm using it for storing potatoes, onions and garlics. Alternatively, I thought it would be a great idea to use it for storing teacups or snacking plates and bowls. Now let's make some more effective utilization of the vertical spaces on this kitchen countertop. So let's bring in a wired, two-layered spice rack, something like this. I'm not a great fan of the traditional masala box with 6 or 7 compartments that we usually have in Indian kitchens. Mainly because of two reasons. One, because they occupy a lot of space. Secondly, I feel the spices get mixed up most of the time. But I like to keep them in small little boxes or small jars like this. These are mainly supplies for 1 or 2 weeks. I keep refills in big jars in my kitchen cabinet separately. And this rack consists of some ground and whole spices which are used most frequently, like turmeric powder, coriander powder, red chili powder, mustard seeds, whole coriander, salt, black pepper and asafoetida. Next, let's bring in this wired rack, which also divides the space into two. On the top of this rack, I am planning to place this little wooden organizer lined with a tissue paper and keeping my oil canisters on it. So if you look at this little wooden organizer, it has one oil canister filled with gingerly oil or the sesame oil. This I use for my everyday cooking for South Indian dishes mostly. There is this olive oil infused with garlic, which I used for making pastas, noodles, fried rice and other Chinese cuisine. And then there is this little jar where I keep some vegetable oil, which I use for deep frying. I have the refill bottles placed in the highest shelf in my kitchen cabinet in a lazy Susan like this. Next to the oils is this square wooden organizer, again lined with some kitchen towel, and I use this to keep the sugar and tea. Here I have a jar filled with idli pudi and one jar with parpu pudi or dal pudi and a jar of ghee. if you are a South Indian, you would know how important idli podi and parpu podi is for us on an everyday basis. And I'm keeping this space free so that I can slide in any of the extra bottles or the jars which come up during cooking. And in a hurry, we don't have time to put it back in the kitchen cabinets. So just pushing it in this free area would make sure that the working area remains clean and the countertop is clutter-free. Alternatively, this place can be used for some decorations, bring in a little candle or a plant to make the whole space look more pleasing to the eyes. And friends, as you can see, even after putting up so many things on the right hand corner, we still have some room to place our pan after finishing cooking out of the cooktop. And now, let us look at some of the ways on how to effectively utilize the side walls of the kitchen countertop. On the left side corner, I have installed a removable hook, and on this I am going to hang a spare shower caddy that I had with me, which I was using in my previous apartment but not in this apartment anymore. Alternatively, you can also find some very good wall organizers for placing your dishwash liquid, hand wash, soap and other supplies like this, so that we can save up a lot of space near the sink area. And I'm going to utilize this space to keep a little basket next to the sink so that we place all the soiled dishes in this basket instead of cluttering the sink completely, because I feel a clutter-free sink gives an impression of a clutter-free and spacious kitchen countertop. Some other ways of utilizing the side wall is to hang a little basket like this for placing the scissors and the knives. We can also use these removable hooks to hang some lightweight spatulas or lightweight saucepans, or just hang the kitchen towels and the cleaning microfiber cloths that we use in the kitchen. I found these removable hooks very useful because I'm in a rented apartment and I cannot have any permanent fittings on the wall. But there are some cautions that need to be taken when we are using these removable hooks. Firstly, while installing, we have to follow the instructions very carefully. Secondly, this needs to be installed only at places where we do not have too much grease on the wall. And thirdly, try to keep it away from the cooktop, because the steam and the heat emanated during cooking can make the hook come out and just spoil the whole thing. And finally, keeping this little whiteboard to note down all the items that I'm running out of and which needs to be included in my next grocery list. So friends, my kitchen countertop is all set. We have been successfully able to bring out all the things that we need on a daily basis, more frequently than others, on our kitchen countertop, and at the same time we have a lot of room to work very freely and spaciously. And the finishing touch is placing this quick dry mat on the working area to make sure that the kitchen countertop, the tiles always stay clean. And before I finish, I want to talk about this particular trick which is very popular in internet right now, which is utilizing this space in between the wall and the refrigerator in our kitchen. This is a very small space, so we can very easily slide in a little shelf like this. This is a DVD shelf I had with me already. You can also do some DIY shelves which can fit in this small space, a long shelf with a very little width, and it has many uses. I'm using this particular shelf to keep all my little lightweight appliances. This is very near to the kitchen, so easy to access and get it on the countertop within seconds. Use it and then put it back in this particular shelf. This idea is also particularly very helpful when you have a very small kitchen and do not have too many kitchen cabinets. This can be used for keeping dishes, utensils, pans, or simply use it to store your groceries.
That's all for today guys. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. And before I leave, I have a question for you. What is your favorite kitchen organization idea? If you ask me, my favorite idea of kitchen organization is to group together similar things in a basket or a tray or a wooden organizer just shown in the video. What is your go-to kitchen organization idea? Comment below and share your ideas with all of us here. I'll see you next time in my next one. Till then, take care.